Hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another market update where we're gonna go over the entire LA County, and then when we sit down together, we'll go more specific into your market. Now, we're gonna go over November 2022, year over year numbers, and at the end of this, I'm gonna share with you some news that will put everything into some perspective and also will be a very foreboding sign. So don't miss that. Stay tuned for more. Let's get started right away. We're gonna look at office space. We're looking at $42.11 per square foot per year for rent, and annual rent growth of 1.3%, and a cap rate at 5.5%, and then a vacancy factor at 14.5%. And then we're looking at sale price per square foot at $465. Next, we're gonna look at industrial, $18.25 per square foot per year for rent. And then we're going to look at annual rent growth at 12.6%, cap rate at 4.1%, vacancy factor at 2.3%, and then a sale price per square foot at $342. Next, retail, $35.51 for rent per square foot per year, annual rent growth at 3.1%, and then a cap rate at 5.2%, and then a vacancy factor at 5%. And then a sale price per square foot at $425. Last but not least, multifamily. We're looking at, on average, $2,181 per door on average. Annual rent growth of 3.4%, cap rate at 3.9%, and then a vacancy factor at 3.6%. And then finally, a sale price on average, $422,000 per door on average. Now with multifamily, it's still staying very strong. A lot of people are holding off on buying a home because interest rates are getting higher and higher. Although they've come down a bit, they're more like 6% and some change, while a few months ago was a little bit over 7%. So a lot of people are flocking to the rental market instead of buying. Certain markets are still holding up very strong. Certain markets are going down. So that's something interesting to see with the multifamily. Although a lot of the rental protections that were there for tenants during the COVID era is coming to an end. Although COVID is still in the news, I'm hearing some rumors that LA County may go ahead and instill indoor masks again, which, I don't know if it's going to be a sign that they're going to go full-fledged COVID restrictions again, or it's just a little minor step and they're not going to go any further. I mean, the rest of the world, they're doing things differently. As you may or may not know, China, they're still very strict with COVID. Anyway, I went on a tangent there. What I wanted to share with you that I promised in the beginning of this was some news that will put everything into perspective and also be very foreboding. So take a look at this. Here you see Meta. They're reducing their office footprint, and they're even willing to take $2 billion of expenses for termination fees just to reduce their footprint, their office footprint. That's amazing. And so you can see here in the office sector that 14.5% vacancy factor should be no surprise at all. Of course, we're not saying Meta had a large office footprint in LA County, but it just gives you a sign and shows you what these big companies are doing right now. Next, let's take a look at Blackstone over here. They're limiting what their customers for their real estate investment trust can withdraw. And they're doing this to prevent a forced sale. If everyone's pulling their money out, they're going to have to sell some of their prized real estate to go ahead and give customers their funds back. So that's interesting. It's a sign that a lot of people are trying to pull their money out. They're slowly losing faith in real estate for now. And then take a look over here. We're seeing other real estate investment trusts doing the same thing. They're stopping their clients from withdrawing too much of their funds. They don't want to be forced into a panic sale. Right? So this is interesting because selling begets selling, and that's how a panic sale can happen. Everyone wants to pull all their money out all suddenly, and everything just collapses. So I'm not saying that will happen. It's an awareness. We're seeing the setup for it, where it is possible where it could happen, and we should be prepared for anything. But of course, everyone's pulling their money out. At a certain point in time, everyone's going to rush right back in as well, and we could also get a boom. So it's a pendulum. It oscillates. It can go one way and then it'll go the next. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. If you do need to get a hold of me, you want to ask me more about some of these things you saw, or talk to me more about your specific market, feel free to reach out. You know how to get a hold of me. Until next time.